Probably one of the hottest shoes out right now, the Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Reverse Mochas. What is up, Diverse family? We're back with another video, and today we're doing our first legit check video, our first official legit check video I should say, and we're doing it with probably one of the hottest shoes out right now, the Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Reverse Mochas. And man, to be honest, these are pretty spot on. If you're not an experienced legit checker, I advise you to watch this whole video. We're gonna go down the list of what to look out for. And real quick, just to let you guys know, we have a website. All of our products are checked thoroughly, 100% authentic, guaranteed. Make sure you go check it out at www.DiverseSole.com. Man, let's get into this video. Alright, we're gonna start off with the boxes, and before I go any further in the video, on the left side we're always gonna have the real one, and on the right side we're always gonna have the fake pair. And then right off the bat we can see the big size difference in the boxes. The real pair probably has an inch over the fake pair. Big size difference there. Now we're gonna go on to the size labels here. So one thing we noticed on the real pair, all real pairs are gonna have the RFID chip, which is kind of like a little design behind the strip you can see. Super noticeable with the black light, it helps out a lot. The fake pair does not have it. Another thing we noticed as well is the fonts. So on the fonts on the real pair is a lot lighter, not as bold as the fake pair. You guys can see it there. Now we're gonna go with the lids. So with the lids, we noticed the color on the real pair is a lot lighter versus the fake pair. The fake pair is a lot darker. And another thing we noticed as well is the texture. The texture on this real pair here, if you rub your finger against it, it kind of has friction, versus the fake pair, if you rub your finger on it, it kind of runs smoothly. Now that we're done with the boxes, we're gonna go into the tissue paper. And to be honest, that's something that goes over a lot of people says they feel like they don't gotta check it, but once you see the side-by-side comparison, there's a huge difference. Right off the bat, we can see the color difference on the real versus the fake. The real one's a lot more brighter, and the fake one's a lot more dull. And on the texture, the real one is a lot more waxier versus the fake one feels a lot more plasticky and papery. Another thing we noticed as well on the box lids, the real one has the green sticker here, as the fake one doesn't. Doesn't mean it has to be on the lid, it could be anywhere in the box, but we noticed on the fake one, it doesn't come with it at all. Another thing we noticed, both of them have the stamp, so I mean, keep an eye out for it, but it kind of doesn't matter because they both have it. Just make sure it has it at least, because the real one's always gotta have it. There could be another fake that doesn't have it, but with ours, it does have it. Another thing we noticed on the lids too, the real one has a nice finish all around inside. It's all tucked in nicely here, versus the fake one, there's huge spacing here. Super obvious here, just poor finish on the box lid. And now we're gonna get into the accessories of the shoe. We're gonna go into the shoelaces now. On the real ones, we noticed the texture on the shoelace bags. The real ones seem a lot thicker, pause. The right ones seem a lot thinner. And on the red lace, we see that the red one is a lot brighter, and the fake one's a lot more dull, not as bright. And now we're gonna go into the shoe trees. The real one seems like it has a bit more texture and a little bit more depth into the lettering, versus the fake one, it seems like the press didn't go in all the way. Again, this is just something that we noticed. The real pair could have one like this, but this doesn't really factor the shoe. It all comes down to the actual shoe itself, so let's get into that. The first thing I like to get into right away into the shoes is the stitching. All around stitching on shoes like this, especially shoes like this, Nike likes to bring them out super clean, very little flaws. Let's start with the stitching. I noticed right away the stitching on the lace hole side right here, super clean, nice and even all around. Spacing is nice on the stitching, the white part on the bottom, versus the fake. It's very inconsistent. Kind of goes patchy, gets thicker and thinner. It's not consistent all around. Another thing that we're right here already is the lace holes. The lace holes on the fakes, as you guys can see, super huge. Looks like you can fit 3 laces in there at once. On the real one, you can see it's nice and precise hole that's cut so that it's nice and even once the shoelace goes in there. Another thing I noticed on the insoles, I'm gonna pull them out. You guys can see a little bit of the color difference there. The real one looks a little bit more lighter blue versus the fake one looks a little bit more dull. On the fake one, they didn't put the size sticker on the bottom versus the real one they did. The Air Jordan as well, it's a lot brighter here. The fake one's a lot more dull, kind of faded almost a little bit. Same with the Cactus Jack letters and the Jumpman. On the real one, they're just more vibrant. They stick out more, they pop out more versus the fake. They're just kind of dull and just there. Going back to the stitching, I noticed on the inside swooshes, on the real pair, like I said, nice and clean. Nike likes to do stuff nice and clean, especially on shoes like this. They're not producing this stuff quick and just throwing it out there. They want to make sure they're nice and clean. Nice even stitching all around, the swoosh versus the fake one. It's nice in some areas, but in some areas it gets a little jaggy. A big piece sticking out right here. I mean, it could be a flaw in some, but like I said, it's something I noticed in a lot of fake pairs that they're very inconsistent with the stitching. Now we're gonna go into the Cactus Jack logo inside. On the fake one, it's been a lot things like this with the fake one. Things are a lot more dull, not as bright. The lettering here is a lot more dull versus the real one, a lot brighter. Once you put the light on it, it shines more as well. Now we're gonna go into the toe box. So I noticed on the real one, it has more of a form to it versus the fake one, it's just kind of flat. You guys can see there. So on the real one, it seems like the holes are a lot more spaced out here along the toe box before it hits the white. Nice evenly spaced out here versus the fake one. They're a lot closer to the stitching here. Another thing we noticed as well is the white leather part in the shoe. On the real one here, it's a lot clean and it's a lot more slimmer here versus the fake one, it almost goes upwards. It's a lot thicker here. So now we're gonna go to the back of the shoe. We have the Cactus Jack logo here. And before I show you guys that, it's kind of weird. I noticed the fake one here has a little bit cleaner cut on the sock liner here. Sticks out a little bit more versus the real one. It's kind of hidden more. Not as clean. But big differences on the Cactus Jack logos as well. The Cactus Jack logo on the fake one, the circle, the round shape, it's kind of too like symmetrical versus the real one here. The Cactus Jack logo has more of a unique shape to it. It's a circle, but it has on this side here, it kind of sticks out more versus the fake one. It's almost evenly all around. For the tongues, on both of them, I don't see too many big differences that I can call out on it. On the real one here, the air is closer to the bottom of the brown part right here before the next little, what would you call this, panel. The air sits a lot closer versus the fake one. There's a slight gap right there. Like I said, this is just one pair we've seen. This could be on some real pairs as well, but just something that we noticed here. I noticed this a lot with the fake Jordan 1s. This stitching here that goes across this tag, it's kind of jaggy and thick versus the real one. It's nice and clean and goes straight across. And this one seems, I mean, this could be just a bad fake or the real one just doesn't have it, but there's a little bit more of this white thing sticking out after the stitching versus the fake one. Very little, you can't even hold it. And now we're gonna get into the size tags of the shoes. And before I get into them real quick, I want to talk about the manufacturing dates. Some of them are not the same. They could be different as long as they're in the same range, I guess. But the endings don't mean it's fake or real. I've seen real pairs have different manufacturing dates. They're not all made the same day or by the same factory, I believe. So yeah, let's not go off of that. But there is differences in the fonts on the real pair. The dates right under it, the UPC code, you'll see that it's nice and spaced out evenly versus the fake, the little dashes on the dates versus the UPC code on the bottom. It looks like they're almost touching or like it seems all crammed up. The real one has a lot more space and just evenly cut all around. The fonts on the UK, the European, the CM, the BR, and the CN on the fake are a lot bolder versus the real one. All of those are a lot clean and almost match the boldness all around. Now we're gonna go into the outside panels, the big reverse swooshes. On the fake ones, we notice this swoosh here, the cut is a lot thicker and kind of has like a color to it versus the real one. It's a clean cut, nice thin piece, no color to it, same kind of matches the swoosh. Another thing we noticed as well is the texture. It just feels like fake leather on the fake one. The real one feels nice. Another thing too, the real pair, the swoosh comes up and has a nice spacing right here on the lace hole versus the fake one. It's almost touching that lace hole there. Last but not least, we noticed on the real one, the first two lace holes right here, these two panels right here, we noticed that one of these always sits higher than the other. Versus the fake one, they're kind of even. All right guys, that wraps it up for our first official Legit Check video. Man, as you guys seen, we've covered a lot of things, box, structure, stitching, you name it. If you found this video useful on helping you, please give us a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe. As always, keep it diverse.
Whoa. Wait a minute, Gus. You forgot to tell. We got a website, www.DiverseSoleSB.com.